what led me to the kidney transplant is, first of all, I didn't even know I was sick. And I had went to the doctor for a full checkup and found out that there was a problem with my kidney function. And so I went to a specialist, and then I found out that I was in stage 4 kidney failure, and I had no clue. I came to a point where I had to go on dialysis, and I chose peritoneal dialysis, and it was 12 hours every day hooked onto a machine, and it was not a lifestyle. And being in that process kind of wakes you up to your reality that you're in right now, that this is not the lifestyle that I want for myself. The doctors told me, you're going to need a transplant. And so I sat with it for a while and did nothing. And so my family and friends did an intervention. They did an intervention. And it's like, okay, you need help. And we need to ask the community for help. Just let us handle this, and you just worry about healing. And so it did. My wonderful spouse, Patrice, put friends together, and they put a call out to the community that I needed a kidney transplant. And through that, I had 87 people step forward to donate me a kidney. 87 people came forth, and I was just completely overwhelmed and surprised, because in my mind I thought, who would want to donate a body part to someone that they really didn't know? And it made me aware that there are people in this world that are there for help, and all you have to do is ask.
I think you announced it in church, and she said she was going to go on dialysis and that she needed a kidney. And so that I was aware, but I really wasn't aware until we went to the Renaissance Hotel here in Nashville for a fundraiser for Kat, and Kat sang, and there was a list of, for people who were interested in donating kidneys. And the more I listened to Kat and I learned about her story, I learned about her accomplishments throughout her life, I learned about what a beautiful person she is. And I just thought to myself, I can sign up. I know I'm in generally good health. I can sign up. I didn't know if I was going to give her a kidney, but I knew I could take the first step, because I could always say no, or somebody else could say no if I wasn't eligible. So I just signed up and went home and continued with my life, expecting that somebody was going to come forward and she was going to get that transplant long before they reached my name at the end of the list. And so I waited and waited, but I also knew the Kat was going on dialysis. And seeing her in church on a regular basis, it became apparent to me that she was becoming more tired, more stressed, and that this was a very difficult process for her. And so I kind of jumped in proactively and started to do some research about what I might need to do to be an organ donor right at that moment. If somebody called me, I needed to be ready. And so I began my own journey, which involved essentially losing 25 pounds to make sure I would be eligible.
Wow. So you had not even been contacted and were like, I'm gonna be ready to donate this kidney. Like, I feel like most people were probably not doing that. Like, what did you just do research on your own? Like, what I need to do to be an ideal kidney donor? Tell me about that.
Yes. I'm a retired attorney, and so research is very natural for me. And I didn't really know if I would qualify. Being retired, you also have a little free time. So, I got on the internet and I started looking and learned an awful lot. So I was in my later 60s, and I was aware that there was a time when I wouldn't qualify simply because of my age. So in that sense, I was in a hurry to lose the weight I knew I would need to lose to qualify. And when I read that there are 3,000 people in North Carolina right now waiting on a kidney transplant. That really moved me. This lady is so special to so many people. She has given so much of herself over decades to charitable causes, to individuals we don't even know. And she deserved every chance that I and anybody else could give her.
Oh, that's really beautiful.
Meeting Pat in church, meeting Pat in church when she said, I'm going to be the one that gives you this kidney. I was with Patrice at the time, and back in my mind, I was going, who is this crazy lady talking about giving me a kidney? And I was like, but then I was like, you know what? I opened my mind up to the possibilities that this may happen.
I was getting nervous because my deadline, my birthday was coming up soon and I might be disqualified. So I thought, well, I needed to take the matter in hand. So I contacted Duke in June of 2018 and filled out their questionnaire online. And a week or two later, I got a call from the transplant coordinator, Lauren Fieldman, at Duke, and she interviewed me over the phone. And then we made arrangements for me to do some blood testing. I was outside cleaning some lawn chairs and just doing my thing, and the phone rang. And it was Lauren. And she took a few minutes to do a little bit of introductory discussion about, what we did and all of this. And then she said, we've determined that you're a match. In that moment, I was truly stunned. And I sat down and I said, Lauren, tell me again what you just said. And she did. And I was so excited. And then I called Kat. And Kat is at home at that point. And I said, Kat, I just heard from Duke. I'm a match. And I'm going to Raleigh-Durham for testing.
I was on the porch, and it was one of those days where I felt super weak, couldn't do anything, sick to my stomach, and I'm sitting there on the porch, and I was like, I need a kidney. I need a kidney. I don't know how I'm going to get it, but I asked God to send me a miracle. I need a miracle. And we were praying on the porch for a miracle. And that is when the phone rang. And you told me, Duke said, here's a thumbs up to you. Come on down here and let's get tested. And I was like, really, that fast? And it was the most amazing moment when we found out, because I remember us on the phone. I remember crying on the phone, and just one big hot mess on the phone. But it was like it's like the doors open, everything opened from that moment on. And it was like the doubt, the fear, it was like everything just opened. It just opened for us. And so here it is. This beautiful human being who didn't really know me from anywhere stepped up and said, I want to extend your life. Because that's what it comes down to. She extended my life. I'm forever grateful and connected to Pat for the rest of my life. This is my sister here. This is my sister. And we are forever connected to each other no matter what in life. And here we are, years later, both thriving. And, I hadn't worked in years. And here I am, back in the law enforcement and doing my thing. And Pat's always doing her thing no matter what, and it's just a wonderful feeling to look at somebody and just see further into them than who they are on the surface.
And for me as a kidney donor, my life changed too. I have experienced so much joy from this simple act. I can't tell you how wonderful it is to know that at least at this point in my life, for the things that I've done something really special. I have saved, hopefully for a long time, saved someone's life. I think we really have become almost like sisters, and it's an honor. It was
Older
just
sister.
Oh, anyway, we're just like sisters, and you can see what I mean. And it's lovely. It's just a lovely relationship, and I am so thrilled every time that Kat gets up in church and sings and brings people to their feet with her energy and her commitment and her love. You know, it's a wonderful thing to know that I have a little part in that, and that she's on her way, you know, with her best life, with her very best life.
Mm-hmm.